Market recap for Monday, the 4th of May, 2026. I haven't seen this Monday, right? I haven't traded it, but also because I don't trade the Mondays anyway. I'll see if we can figure out what it did. And yeah, anyway, on Friday, like I said, the market, once it's done this, it should have came back to first presented and then went higher, right? Doing this, but as you can see, we decided to do it later on this Monday. That's why I told you Friday's delivery wasn't as it's supposed to do, right? This was gonna happen. That's the normal delivery of it, and we would go higher, right? Like wouldn't go higher, but we just take the highs again, right? Stay like something like this, right? And then we could continue as a normal delivery. But as you can see, they just stalled it. So I guess I was right. It's just the market is garbage, so it is what it is. But you can see we randomly, for no reason, shoot down. I'm guessing they used some sort of news or crash or whatever to do it, and that's why we stalled it and we didn't do it on Friday because if you have more opportunity to cook people, right, like making more relative equal lows, dragging the stairs, and in just 1 minute, couple of minutes basically, that's probably less than 10 minutes, just delete everybody out of the market, you would do it. But if we were in these like manipulated markets, this was the delivery. It would have stalled 10 more minutes, we delivered lower, and it would kind of creep back up to the highs or kind of stall it. And then the next day, like, you know, Sunday opening, it'd basically be similar to this. We would come up, and then if we wanted to go for lower, right, which I'm guessing that's what we did for today, one more step lower because I don't really see this being bearish. I'm seeing this go bullish. I don't know if we're going to take this low. And that's why I need to slap down annotations here. So now I understand what's going on. We don't read anything from last Friday. So just quickly looking at it, let's put our highs and lows and what to expect for today. So this is our AM high right here. That's by side. Right, this one's gonna take a second, right? Because I got no annotations, but I'll get my thoughts through. So this would be helpful, I guess, if you haven't seen it. I mean, if you don't know what today is gonna do, and I'm still don't really see what today is gonna do yet until I just put everything down. So give me a second. Give me a second. But regardless with this whole market, it's just been straight garbage. So I'm not really excited to trade anything really. Right. So this is just a launch high and I'm guessing this is that's the PMI. And so we do have relative equal highs. It's gonna be for today. 30. Just make sure that I'm just gonna color it, right? Because I know the colors. But I just know it's buy side liquidity, right? So we have relative equal highs. We have a lunch high. We have a London high right there. So we have stacked buy side. However, the overall structure is not looking as bullish just yet. So that's in terms of buy side. Sell side has already been taken except this low. And in terms of our initial sell side, we're gonna have this low to look for, right? That's 100% expected for today's low to be taken, right? This low, 100%, I'd say, because especially I can see there's relative equal lows. So that's my initial target. Like if I was gonna be asked to trade today, that's what I would target. And this high, even though we did have a sweep here, I don't know if it's enough. So this is what I'm looking at in terms of what we're gonna do. Anyway, let me see if this us stopping here makes sense, right? Because yeah, it's first presented. That's the target for yesterday, but that wouldn't be the target to go down. Let me just check. Well, Hmm. I would like us to, because I remember we didn't get to the midpoint of this opening. Put the quadrants in there. Okay, we have an opportunity. If we only if we accelerate below this low, then we can make a permanent low, right? It really depends. Let me just check if there's anything on the daily or the 4 hour there. If we have a daily volume imbalance, it's gonna be part of this fair value gap. But the only thing I'm gonna be looking at is volume imbalance. Is it the same? No, it's not the same levels. Right? It is a cluster, but if we're gonna come back to this low, which is possible if we accelerate, then our low of the day should be one of, well, not any upper quadrant lines because that's above the liquidity. That makes sense. But any of these two, or at max these low quadrants, like it should be roughly there if we're gonna get lower. If we're going higher, that means we're gonna have to move first lower, hold somewhere here. So let me check if there's something to hold lower. Oh, this just looks broken. What's the one I was saying? Well, I'll be looking at this wick, right? So I would want to see this upper quadrant to be held, right? We do have this gap, which we're respecting it basically, but I want to see if we're gonna do anything there, or are we gonna accelerate? See, basically, are we gonna hold this 1 minute? If you're just looking at it 1 minute, so let's just draw this. This is what we expect to come as an inversion later if we decide to go through it. I think that's enough lines and enough join. Like on a normal day, I'd probably have more proper analysis, not this garbage, but because I'm just trying to like do everything quickly. Um, eyeballing our new weekly opening gap, which is the opening price indeed. I mean that should be on the closing. So that one's right. So this is our new weekly opening gap, which is what we hit for this low. So if we're gonna accelerate outside our new weekly opening gap, so in terms of this, I won't do anything. Why? Because we are in the middle of a new weekly opening gap, so we just basically fill in it. So I don't really care for any trade. My trade is in terms of we hit. It depends on the open. We go lower, then I'm looking for us to go high into the relative equal highs. If we go high into these relative equal highs, we got this midnight open, but I would not want us to take um London high, right? Because if we're gonna take London high, we're gonna take these two highs, then there's no way we're coming lower. See that, right? Like we might come lower to here, but then I wouldn't know if that's a fair trade. So yeah, that's Monday. See, I don't trade Monday because it's always a 50-50. Let me just one last check, 15-minute chart, right? So last thing is us holding this on a 15-minute. That's like the last thing, right? I'm not really anchoring it on this. If you want the real anchor, I'm anchoring it on this. That's my anchor. That's my actual why I'm saying this one, right? Because if we're gonna go higher, I don't want real closures, right? 5, 15, whatever. Maybe 1 minute slight wicks, but that's about it. So it doesn't look like we'll do anything at the morning stop, but let me see. And let's see 9:30 open. We can't judge. Interesting. So we'll make relative equal highs and we'll have relative equal lows. Let me check the regular trading hour. Ooh. Wait, no, I thought it was that big. It's just this. Before they close our opening range gap, don't care for it now. We just gotta wait. This is choppy. I would have this as my first presented, and honestly, because we took this relative equal highs first and then came back to the first presented. This would probably work, but it's not something I would take. Right now, because we went higher first, I'm looking at us to at least come lower. Right? That's why we trade. You see, like audible we got break even. Even like it probably will hit it. And what I mean by relative equal highs, right? Because look, when I look to regular trading, I didn't know. It looks like a whole different chart now, doesn't it? Right? Look at all these relative equal highs basically. So I'm looking, are we gonna stop here or are we gonna take all three? Right? I don't want London high to be taken. So we make four relative equal highs basically at this point, right? I don't want us to come to this low at all yet, right? Until we take over. I'm noticing we're actually respecting the first percentage for once on a Monday, which is very rare. So I'm going to extend this, right? Normally the Monday's first percentage getting cooked, right? So now we took three highs. It's 10-11. This could be an inversion trade, but I don't know because now technically we made another relative equal highs. This could be low-key of a trap, but it has to like be very obvious. Right? Okay, I like this gap, right? But we haven't changed the state delivery, so even though we close outside it, doesn't make, but that's what we take for sure. Alright, cool. We took all the relative equal highs. I would play. Alright, there's couple of trades idea here, right? This could be a low risk one and entry, but I want a reaction here. We could hit midnight open, but I'm telling you, no reason. And even on the 1 minute, I wouldn't really like us closing above that 15 minute I was showing. Right? I wouldn't really like it. Okay. See, now this making me question. I wouldn't do anything, right? I'd still have the idea like, okay, unless the 5:15, we're next to the macro, right? Either we're gonna take this London high, and then, like I said, I'm done. The trade for the day is just gonna be bullish, or this is all just a setup because I'm looking back at it. Look at the stairs, right? We haven't really taken sell side except here, but it, I don't know. It's possible. If we take London high, that's it. I'm done for the day, and that's it. It'll be no trade day. And we hit midnight. We stole in. It is the 1050 macro. Like if I don't see anything now, I'm not taking it. Okay. Alright. Okay. That's it. Interesting. Alright, I need to check the 5 minute close. It closed above it, but we fully invest this. 15 minute is slightly above it, but I would classify this as a mohawk honestly in this rejection block. So this plays, right? This stays intact. How would I enter this? That's the question now. Right? Of course, stop loss above this high now. Because if we're gonna take this high, we're gonna take London high. So like it's the 1050 macro, I would have to find an entry. This to me seems like what do you call it? A breakaway gap. So I know I'm probably not gonna get an entry there. So I would try get a small entry here, right? If I can get it, it's gonna offer me one more candle. One more candle. Okay, it offers me the entry. I'll try to get my second entry here. Let's put the stop loss where as a breakaway gap we shouldn't get there. Let me just put this somewhere for. Alright, let's get a second entry. If it's gonna offer it. Right here. Do we get it? There we go. We got our second entry. And Ooh, why would it go that far? You know what? I will take it as a full trade, right? It should not come to this high because of this crazy retracement. Like, what is going on today? What happened? Right, and then I would put my full position once we actually close below this now, because then we already changed the state delivery. So I'm seeing all of this run up. If it goes up higher, it's just think of this as a large order block, right? If I'm looking at high time frame. So we also in the 50-50 because this already done a crazy wick. So we'll just see. Right, it came into what I would classify should have been a breakaway gap. I don't like that, which means this might be slow, right? This might be slow until we get below, let's say, the midpoint of this. That's what we hit right there. So basically, until we close below this low, it might be slow, it might stall, and it might keep going higher and shit. But if we can get close below this, that's the break even. I just want one more full entry just below this low. So give me the close, more confirmation. There we go. And I will take myself another, let's just say 5, right? I wouldn't enter like this, right? I would already probably had a bigger position earlier, but I'm just saying, you know, hypothetical trade, right? I don't trade Monday, so I could not care less. I get my full entry, and I did say break even here, but let me actually get a close below this. Nope, so I can't go break even yet. I need a full close. There we go. And that's your break even. And we should just disappear, right? Okay, that's not the TP. Alright, let's sell proper TPs. That would make sense. I did say this could stop us, so let's set some small TPs. Well, let's put I'd put a buy limit on 3 here, right? Because that's originally what could have stopped us. If we're gonna run through this and close, honestly, there's nothing that should stop us from getting this low, right? So another buy 3. I was gonna say maybe 1 here, but that would have to be in the position. And then this sell side, but of course, the first thing that could stop us, it should be this. Let's just put it 1 tick above, and that should be it. Regardless, I wouldn't. I know this is looking good for a Monday, but hey, trust me, just don't trade Mondays. It's not worth it. Even though this is looking like it's working out, because I'll take this as a win because it's break even. It still could have just. It could still do some BS, right? That's why I don't trade Monday. But never mind. We hard dumped and we closed below this, so guessing we're just gonna go all the way. Back to break even again. I don't know why I changed it. So now, we've took the partial. It's a W. It stopped where I would think it might stop, but right now I'm looking for is this count or this run because it was too aggressive, right? This already taken a lot. So I'm basically looking at this fair value gap to hold. If it doesn't hold, I might just start just trimming some off or whatever. Right. And the main part that I'm looking for it to hold is report this properly, right? I don't really care for this main fair value gap to hold. I'm looking at this portion in the upper half of this, right? What are we doing? Are we gonna mohawk it? Are we gonna spend too much time outside it? Or not, right? Because otherwise I'll just kill the rest of the position. You can see we do have a little mohawk on the bodies and we shoot down. And now the question is, what are we gonna do to the one that's holding on the midpoint of the wick, right? Because think about this, I want a closure below, and a closure below. I'm talking here probably on a 5 minute, right? Eh, like a 5 minute closure below this. That's the midpoint of the wick, right? But like this whole gap, I want a full close. Once that is done, then it's basically GG's at that point. Not yet, not yet, still not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. See, that's why a partial is nice. Okay, as you can see, the second that we actually fully do it, and wait, yo, chill out. Did I not put it properly? I would probably close by then. It is probably a bit slightly greedy for me, trying to get the exact midpoint, but I mean, let's just see. Did it hit it? Yeah, I should have closed. Well, it did it in a wick, but in a real position, I'd probably not extend it to that midpoint because it's slightly greedy. But yeah, this ways, that's what I'd expect, and like that's it really for the day, right? I wouldn't expect anything. So we do come all the way to get the sell side that we should have gone, and yeah, it is an interesting day, right? It does deliver. I guess I would have had to wait a long time though. I can't lie. I don't like waiting till 10:50 macro. I like to be done much earlier. But hey, it doesn't seem too bad for a start of May. I can't lie. So let's just hope the market is not as garbage this month. And one thing that I wouldn't like is this crazy pull to the midpoint of this week and then coming back because genuinely at this position is a 50-50. Like as good as it like you could it's a 50, it could have literally just said, you know what, now we're going higher. But it closed below the midpoint and that just confirmation and that's what we're gone, right? I would say this is the good trade, right? To here asking for this is unless you have like a small partial, you're letting it go because it could have easily stopped at this, right? And you would already know the warning signs are too late because if it went above here, it could have shot up so fast that you'd be cooked, and there's no point of just wasting them on handles. This is cool, right? From like the extra, it's an extra 120 handles to be fair. But again, it's just a lot of weight. Like I said, you would be like, oh, it might do it now. No, it might do it now. No, no, no. As long as he was holding this, right, that it went to discount. But as long as he's really holding this, you're fine. It had a little mohawk with the body. But, you know, that's if you don't care, right? But yeah, that's the market recap. I feel like I've done an extra good job in this one, detailed of what I would have traded like. But yeah, I'm not trading Mondays, Monday. It's just a rule, right? Where I just noticed either Monday is gonna take me so long to find a trade that just can't be else. I got better things to do in my time, or that I will get in a trade and then I'll hit a break even because of some BS, or it's just not clean, right? So that's why I just skip the Mondays and just have a good day, right? Extra weekend day. Anyway, Tuesday, what do I expect? Well, now we don't need any of this. Wait, one more thing actually. I want to see, did we do anything with our first presented? No, we didn't give it that little kiss to go from, which is unfortunate, right? I'm not gonna be bothered to use it for other days anyway. Anyway, what do I expect? Hmm. It is an interesting day, I'd say that. We had our sweep. We came back into a daily discount, right? Just put that again, the volume imbalance. Right there. Let's just get rid of the midpoint. So this would be classified as really bullish, right? Like coming to this discount and another tail soup that is really bullish. If I would be trading right now or whatever, I would have probably taken a long from here, but like I only trade like New York time or whatever, so it's cool. It's whatever. I know I'll get an entry, but what I'm looking for again is all-time highs, right? Like we're looking for this high to be taken tomorrow. We're not looking for this low to be taken tomorrow. It's technically today. It's midnight basically. So what do I expect for Tuesday? Well, few things to look at. First, look at this wick. Right, already tapped into it. I would be looking at. I'd be looking at rejection block right here. Just put that in there as well, just for completeness sake. I'll be looking at the rejection block on these quadrants. I'm not looking really at the lower quadrant. I'm looking at midpoints and above really from that bullish. So let's just check what that looks like in the 15 minutes. You can see we're already like on the rejection block holding it. So this could be the low, right? Like Asia could be like our low of the day. We might not need to take these, but if you check the 1 minute actually, they do seem like some nice lows, but it's not like a guarantee. It's not like it has to, right? It's not like it has to. If we stay within this whole range, right? Think about it. Like if we don't take this high, we don't take our AM high, we stay in this range, right, the whole time and come here. We could have a 9:30 open that's gonna dump us to take all these lows, right? And think about this like low formation, this low, a long-term low, and another like intermediate term low, right? Making this a long-term low basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we could start going high for the highs. Right? It's like just making sure anybody that from these days trying to go for all-time highs is cooked. You're trying to go for it again, you're cooked. Trying to go for it again, you're cooked. And then after that, they come for the highs. They are taking buy side at the same time, so it doesn't really matter if they keep dumping it fast. That's what I would expect if we're gonna keep holding this structure. If London doesn't do some sort of manipulation, but if not, if London makes the low of the day, I'd expect us to be much higher, and it will just be a classic of us going back to discount and liquidity and whatever PD array in there, and then we'd go high again. So just, yeah, like regardless, all this says I'm bullish. Actually, that does say I'm bearish or bullish, but like overall, I am bullish. It just depends what we do, right? If you the only short that is possible would be at market open, right? And that has to be a certain way. So that's the market recap, right? I know nobody watching this anyway, but this is just to keep stuff fresh in my mind. If you're watching, you got free sauce. Anyway, peace out.